Hello students, welcome to M10 classes. Today we are going to read a topic related to biology, that is hormones in human beings. So before going to read about hormones, let us first know about glands. Glands are specialized groups of cells or organs that secrete chemical substances. Basically those glands are of two types, that are endocrine glands and exocrine glands. Now let us know what are those exocrine glands and endocrine glands. First of all, endocrine glands. These are known as ductless glands. Why are they known as ductless glands? Because no duct is attached to glands. Then how do they secrete their chemicals? The secretions of endocrine glands are known as hormones, and these hormones are directly poured into the blood, which ultimately reaches to the target sites through blood. That means they don't have ducts, they release their secretions directly into the blood. These endocrine glands are quite complex. For example, of these endocrine glands are pituitary glands, thyroid glands, and adrenal glands, etc. Now let us read about exocrine glands. Exocrine glands are called the duct glands. That means duct or tube is attached to the specific with these glands. Now they secrete enzymes, mucus, and other substances. The secretions are released into the specific sites through the duct or the tube. Exocrine glands are quite simple. For example, salivary gland, liver, and pancreas. While reading about digestive system, you might have read that this salivary gland, let's say it be the liver, the secretions are directly released into the particular regions or particular areas, and that is by the help of some ducts. And that is why these are duct glands, that are exocrine glands. So here we are going to read about the endocrine glands in human beings. So the endocrine glands are hypothalamus, pituitary gland, pineal gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, pancreas, adrenal glands, testes, and ovary. But for the exam point of view for class 10th, your important glands are pituitary gland, thyroid gland, pancreas, adrenal gland, testis, and ovary. So these are the important glands and their functions that you need to remember. Now students, see these pictures. This picture shows the endocrine glands present in the human being in both male and female. Pineal gland, pituitary and hypothalamus gland, they are present in the brain. Thyroid gland, which is just like the shape of a butterfly, and parathyroid gland, they are present in the neck. Thymus is located as you can see here. Then comes pancreas, which is below the stomach. Then adrenal gland, which sits upon the kidney, right here on the top of the kidney. Now the gonads, that means the testis in human male, and ovary in case of human female. So you can see here, this is the testis and this is the ovary. So we are going to read about those glands. First one is hypothalamus. Its location is lower central part of the brain. It links the endocrine system with the nervous system. What does that mean? The hypothalamus gathers the information sensed by the brain, like it responds to stimulus, brain responds to stimulus like light, temperature, pressure, etc., and sends it to the pituitary. This information influences the hormones that the pituitary makes and releases. We are going to read more elaborately about pituitary gland. Next comes pituitary gland. Pituitary gland, the location is the base of the brain. Its shape and size is just like the shape of a bean, which is very small, but it is known as the master gland. Why is it known as the master gland? It is because the hormones released by pituitary control the other endocrine gland. That means it controls the secretion of the other endocrine gland, and that is why it is known as the master gland. Pituitary gland is known as the master gland. Now, what are the secretions of pituitary gland? Pituitary releases GH, that is growth hormone, TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, LH, luteinizing hormone, prolactin, oxytocin, vasopressin, etc. But the function of those hormones are not necessary as of now. You are going to read it in the higher classes in class 12. Now, let us see about this GH, that is growth hormone. So growth hormone, as it says, the name suggests that it is related to the growth of the person. So GH controls the growth of the body of a person. Now the hypersecretion of this growth hormone leads to gigantism. That means the person becomes large, very tall. So it is called hypersecretion, that means more secretion of this GH. And the hyposecretion leads to dwarfism, that is your shortness. You can see here the world's tallest and shortest person in the picture, that shows you that means the GH, its hypersecretion can lead to the growth, that is your gigantism, and other one which leads to the related to the shortness of the height, that is your dwarfism. Now coming to pineal gland is present in the middle of the brain. It secretes melatonin, which regulates the sleeping pattern of a person. That means when you sleep at night or you wake up in the morning, and it senses the lights. And it is also known as the third eye, because it senses light. Next comes thyroid gland. Thyroid gland is present at the lower neck. As I have told you, it is the shape of a butterfly, and it secretes thyroxine hormone. So what is the importance of thyroxine hormone? Thyroxine hormones regulate carbohydrate, protein and fat metabolism in the body so as to provide the best balance for the growth. Iodine is essential for proper function of thyroid gland. So you might have watched in the TV that they show the advertisement that you must take iodized salt. That means salts that includes iodine in a very little amount. Now this iodine is essential for the proper function of the thyroid gland. In case of the deficiency of the iodine, there may be the thyroid gland may malfunction and you may have goiter. It may lead to goiter. So you might have seen the pictures of goiter, that means you have swollen neck. It is because of the malfunctioning of the thyroid gland. Parathyroid gland, there are 4 glands attached to thyroid gland. They secrete parathyroid hormone. It controls the level of calcium in the blood. Next comes to pancreas. As you know, it is present below the stomach, but the important characteristics of pancreas is it is both endocrine and exocrine. As you have already read in the digestive system that it secretes the digestive enzymes, and that is why it is exocrine, and here also it secretes hormones, that is why it is endocrine in nature. Now it secretes insulin and glucagon. This insulin, it decreases the blood sugar level, and glucagon, it helps to increase the blood sugar level. So you might have seen that your grandparents, like your granny or grandpa or maybe elderly person, they might be taking this insulin and they might be suffering from diabetes. So those who are suffering from diabetes, they usually have higher blood sugar level, and to decrease that they take this insulin injections. Next, adrenal glands. Its location is on the top of each kidney. That means there are 2 adrenal glands, one on the top of each kidney. It secretes adrenaline hormone, which is also known as the stress hormone. As the name suggests, it helps to cope up with the stress condition. Now suppose if you are going to ask a normal person, when did you run the fastest in your lifetime? Okay, so some persons may tell you that it's the time when a dog was behind me. Okay, so these are the stressful conditions. So how does the body cope up with these stressful conditions? Now see, one of the target organ of this adrenaline hormone is heart. So the heart beats faster, resulting in supply of more oxygen to the muscles. That means there will be more supply of blood, and that means that results in more supply of oxygen to the muscles. The blood to the digestive system and the skin is reduced due to the construction of muscles around the small arteries in those organs. That means at those conditions, when your muscle requires more amount of blood and oxygen, the blood to some of the organs which is not quite necessary at that point of time, for let's say digestive system and skin, it is reduced, and the supply is being diverted to the skeletal muscles. So this diversion to the skeletal muscles supplies more amount of oxygen to the muscles so they can work efficiently. And the breathing rate also increases. Breathing rate, as when the breathing rate increases, it helps you to supply more amount of oxygen. Coming to the gonads, that is your testes and ovary. So the testis, it releases testosterone. This is the male sex hormone. It regulates the secondary sexual characters in male and also regulates the production of sperm in the testis. Now, what is this secondary sexual character? Those characters which physically distinguish between the male and female. So, in case of male, the secondary sexual characters are the broadened chest and your mosters, beards. All those are your secondary sexual characters in the male. And in case of ovary, it secretes two hormones. One is estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen is also known as the female sex hormone. Now, estrogen regulates the onset of puberty in girls, and it regulates the secondary sexual characters in females. So, different secondary sexual characters in females, like your broadened hip and the enlargement of breasts. These are the secondary sexual characters in case of female. Estrogen and progesterone are involved in the regulation of menstrual cycle and pregnancy. So these are all about the endocrine glands and the hormones secreted from it and their functions in our body. Thank you.